There is a little bit of reverb going on somewhere. I'm not sure how.
Andrea, can you do me a favour? Can you mute yourself? Because I think it's causing it.
Oh, right. Okay, just bear with me then. Sorry.
It's all right, darling.
Sorry, sometimes if somebody's got two devices, if you've got it on your phone and on your laptop at the same time, you get that kickback from Zoom. So if somebody's got their phone on and their laptop at the same time, that's what you're going to get, that double echo in.
Yes. It seems to have corrected itself now, huh? All right, good. Thank you, Pam.
You're welcome.
Wait, is Rob on? Let's see.
I don't see Rob.
No, I don't see Rob either.
He's working till 9 o'clock, Sam.
Oh, he's not told me that. Are
Yeah,
you his new best friend then? Is that what it is?
I had a conversation with him earlier. It's going to be 9 o'clock before he's finished and gets back.
Believe me, I'm having words with him. Strong words. Do you know what, Scott? Take the floor and take it away.
All right. So, listen, I want to thank everybody for taking time jumping on this Zoom tonight. As you all know, Samantha and I have been working together for a little while now, and she asked me the other day if I'd be willing to jump on and just kind of walk through a couple of things that I think that are important in this industry and what we're doing, and how to kind of move things forward. So, just to give you a little background about myself, I am I've been in the industry a little over almost 9 years now, 7-figure earner, and I love network marketing for what it is, what it has to offer, and for what it does for people. The first company I was in was a nutritional company. Did very well with that. Like I said, about 1.4 million in income there, over 10,000 people in my organization within about a year. And it wasn't because I knew what I was doing, and this is where the reason why I want to have this conversation is everybody starts someplace when they get into the network marketing industry. And where I started was at the very beginning of, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I don't know how to build anything. All I knew is that I was excited about what I was doing, and I shared it with every single person I knew. And I did it consistently, and I was persistent with it. So that's kind of what Sam wanted me to talk about a little bit tonight, was just being consistent, being persistent, and what that can do for your business. So for me, the way I like to talk and train with this is I look at you when you have the very beginning of your business, you first get started. What is it that every single company that you're in, every leader tells you to do is to build your list. And I know it's like beating a dead horse, but you got to have some place to start. So you always get your list going and you start from there. My personal training that I do with the people I work with is all you have to do is pick a number that works for you and connect with that many people per day, every single day. So when I would go walk people through my fast track, it was you need to contact 5 people per day, 7 days a week for 30 days, which means you need to have a list of 150 names and numbers on paper to start with. And I'm going to walk you through my system. And when we do that, it creates incredible results that are not just short-term, but long-lasting. When you get your list started, obviously, I'm not going to go through the whole list building scenario unless Sam comes on and says, yes, please do. Because we all have been there. We all know how to build a list. Just make sure you're putting everybody on your list without prejudging them, and then put them through the same exact system. Let the system do the sorting for you. But get 150 names and numbers on paper. I will talk about putting it on paper because there's something magic in transferring from brain to pen to paper that makes things happen a lot more efficiently. When you do that, you have a notebook that you have the ability to track what your follow-up needs to be. Because the other thing that most people miss and lack with this is the follow-up. And I know you've all heard the fortunes in the follow-up. It's like, one of those things that resonates, it rings in your ears all the time, but it's absolutely 100% true. It's also the one thing that most people, including leaders, including 7-figure, 8-figure earners, they still lack that skill set on most days on how to follow up accurately. So if you have a notebook and you keep notes and you're constantly following up with folks, you know exactly who you spoke to, what the reaction was, what they needed, and follow up with them. So for what we're doing now, you just take a look at, hey, I'm building an organization and I want this thing to grow and build fast. How do I do that? And maybe it's, some of you are doing multiple things. I believe in multiple streams of income. So if you're doing multiple things, a notebook is very, very important because it helps keep you focused on who you're talking to and where you are in the process. And more importantly, what are you talking to them about? So make sure you have all of that stuff accessible. I have a notebook. I keep all of that stuff, keep track of all that stuff. I take my notebook with me everywhere I go, whether I'm driving, flying, it doesn't matter. It goes everywhere with me. If I forget it, I freak out because, then I have to rely on my mind. And at 47 years old, that's not something I want to rely on all the time as far as remembering who I need to talk to. So I keep it with me everywhere I go. As you're putting people on that list and you're going out there, you say, all right, I'm going to commit for the next 30 days with this business to put this in front of 5 people every single day. And don't worry about what those 5 people may or may not say. Don't worry about whether your mother, brother, sister is telling you that you're being ridiculous for doing another one of those things. Just go through the list, because the reality is this: the people that need this and want this are going to have it in front of them when it's time for them to have it. And they're going to say yes when it's time for them to say yes. Don't get hung up on the same 5 people every single day, every single week. Work through that list of 150 names and numbers as quickly as possible. Put them through the system efficiently and make sure that you're connecting them with your upline mentor. I'm going to tell you right now, anybody you connect with Sam right now, that woman is so on fire and has so much energy that if you put someone on the phone with her, they're in. I guarantee it. So make sure you're putting her to work and you're using her all along the way. I know that Pamela Lambert, same way. That woman's fired up. She has a skill set like I've not seen before as well. You put somebody on the phone with her and it's game over. I mean, they're in and they're ready to roll and they're excited. So that's part of getting set up. And the reason why I want to kind of go through this a little bit on the front side is because this is the key to being consistent and persistent. Because if you're not prepared to be able to build that consistency and have something to start from, then you're just going to be running around in circles. So if you have your list, you have something to work from, you have your notebook, now you have a method of operation every single day that you need to perform. And that is to go on that list. Start with the first one on the list and work your way down through. And you're going to connect 5 people per day to that system. Are we froze up? No? Okay. So you want to make sure that you're connecting 5 people per day to the system every single day and be consistent with it. Now, understand that some, let's just say for argument's sake, we're starting today. So you connected 5 people today to the system. So you have in various stages of taking a look at it. Tomorrow, you're going to connect 5 people again. Now, tomorrow, you're also going to be following up with the 5 people from today. And then on Wednesday, you're going to introduce 5 more people to it. And you're going to follow up with some of the folks from Tuesday, some of the folks from today. So you're constantly going to be talking to anywhere from 5 to probably 7 or 8 people a day after you get through your first couple of days. And as you go through the month, understand that, life happens. It is what it is. I will never tell somebody you have to absolutely do this, but I'm going to tell you, if you want to be a 6-figure earner or more in this industry, don't skip a day. It's like breathing oxygen. You do not miss a day of breathing. So don't miss a day of putting your opportunity in front of the 5 people that you need to on a daily basis. Stay consistent. I use the old adage in the story of the person that goes to the gym to work out. That you talk to a personal trainer and they tell you need to have, 8 hours a week worth of training in order to be achieve the goals that you want to have. That means you have to commit time every single day to doing what you're doing. That doesn't mean you go in on Saturday and spend 8 hours in the gym and work out for 8 hours and it makes up for the last 6 days that you did nothing. It doesn't work that way. This is the same thing. When you go, you can't go on a Saturday or a Sunday and say, I needed to connect with 5 people a day, so that's 35 people per week, and then all of a sudden in one day hit 35 people. First of all, you can message 35 people, you can give 35 people information in a day, absolutely. Can you follow up with them adequately? No, because it's too much. It's too overwhelming. And a lot of people get into this trap of, I have 150, I have 200, I have 500 people on my list. I'm going to message everybody as fast as I can. And then when the messages come in and they can't respond to them quick enough, then they lose more people than what they ever would have lost had they gone through it methodically. So this is the same thing with this practice, is you want to make sure that you're doing this methodically. You want to make sure you're staying consistent and that you're persistent with it. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to spend an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours a day doing this. You might be busy. You might have 1 or 2 jobs. You might have kids. You may have things going on in your life. All you need is 15 to 20 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day, to make sure that you contact 5 people. That's it. Don't overwhelm yourself. If you don't have a lot of time, or maybe you're at work, you have a lunch hour where you have a full hour that you can do something. So at the start of that lunch hour, you message 2 people and eat your lunch. You might they might respond back while you're on your lunch break, and you can move them to the next step. They might not. When you get out of work, message a couple more people. Maybe after dinner and the kids have gone to bed, you message a couple more people. Spend 15, 20 minutes, 2 to 3 times a day. Whatever it takes for you to get through your list efficiently and make sure that you physically connect with 5 people per day is what you need to figure out for yourself. Now, if you want to make a 6-figure income quickly, then you're going to have to be diligent with it. You're going to have to carve out some time, and you're going to have to make sure that you have uninterrupted time to do this. And then set follow-ups with every single person that you talk to. So maybe you get somebody on the phone, they take a look at things. You say, yeah, all right. And they're going to watch some videos, okay? Before you hang the phone up with them, set your follow-up meeting with them. Something along the lines of, hey, now you've taken a look at this. I know you're going to take a look at this video. When's the best time to follow up with you and figure out what our next steps are? Tuesday or Wednesday. And they'll tell you Wednesday. Great. So on Wednesday, is lunchtime or evening time better? Evening's better. All right. Is 6, 7, or 8 best for you? 8 o'clock's best for me. Fantastic. I'll call you 8 o'clock Wednesday evening. And that's it. You've set the follow-up. And the thing of it is, because you're giving them the alternative close, you're giving them the impression that they're making the decision on when the follow-up is, when in all actuality, you're directing them to where you want them to be in the first place. So just make sure that, and when you have your notebook and your calendar out and all that stuff, that's how you're going to be able to keep track of that. So you want to make sure that you're staying consistent with that. Now, like I said, if you want to go fast with this, then this is one of those things where you're going to have to be diligent with your connections. So some of you, if you're full-time networkers, like a few of us are, you have all day. You could spend 8 or 10 or 12 hours a day doing this. Just manage your time so that you're not messaging everybody at the same time. Stagger it out, every hour or so, and go throughout the day. And as you have people start coming in to work on it, then you can follow up with them. So David just said, 7. Yeah, Jim Rohn does explain this very well. And Jim Rohn is one of my personal mentors that I listen to on a regular basis when I travel in my vehicle. I have my Rolling University always playing. So whether it's Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, I listen to Think and Grow Rich all the time. I've probably listened to that book 50 times in the last 5 years, just from all the trips I've taken. His follow-up book, Outwitting the Devil, another great book. All those things. These are not new philosophies that I'm putting out here, or not new things that I'm putting out here. But I'm going to tell you right now, these are things and strategies that I used to build a 7-figure business in this industry. And I'm going to tell you, I promise you, as long as the day is long, that if you do these things, follow these tips, that you will have success. The only people I've worked with in the last 9 years that have not been successful in this industry are the ones that give up on themselves because they make the excuse that it does not work for them. And the problem is, it's not that it does not work for them, it's that they gave up on the process. And the process here is very, very simple. It's just a matter of getting this in front of as many people as possible, as efficiently as possible, so that you have the chance to do your job, which is get them enrolled, get them connected to the right people, and help them be successful as well by getting the same information to them. All right, I'm trying to see. David said something else here, but it's not popping up. Yeah, mindset and skill set. That's exactly right, David. All right. So moving beyond that, I'm kind of going to open it up a little bit for some questions, because the way I look at things from this is that you guys are in a unique position where you have one, maybe two different income streams coming in for you. You're doing a couple different things. And it's a matter of being able to focus the right way. So, if you have questions, please either type them in the chat or you can come off mute and ask. Samantha, if there's anything else you want me to cover beyond.
I think we're better off asking the questions in the chat, because if we all start talking at once, we're not going to understand what's going on. So if we put our questions in the chat, then you can ask them. But I've got one I want to ask without going in the chat. How do you motivate yourself when you're having a bad day?
Normally I'll go on YouTube and I'll pick a couple of Jim Rohn or Zig Ziglar videos and I'll listen to them, and then understand that it's not about the environmental factor that just happened to me. It's about what I want to do, what my goals are. And then I look at my reason why I'm doing this business, and it refocuses me.
Okay.
It's not easy. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it definitely is not easy, because when somebody does try to derail you, it can take a toll. It really can. But the biggest thing, especially being a networker, is you cannot let that get into your head and get stuck. You have to move past it. It's different for everybody what gets them past it. Some people it's a cup of tea. Some people walking outside and let the atmosphere be absorbed. Other people, it's either you read a little bit of a book or you watch a little bit of a video clip or movie, whatever it is for you. Listen to your favorite song, something. Just you got to know what it is for you and use those things to get past wherever or whatever's gotten you into that funk that you're in.
What's your favorite pitch you use on someone?
My favorite pitch?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Scott. What's yours?
Seriously?
This whole thing, there's so many people that want to tell you, here's how I pitch this, here's how I pitch that. But nobody's talking about how to build a relationship. This is beyond everything else in this industry. This is about, and it's not just this industry, it's life. It's building friendships and relationships with people to where you're providing value with and for them without any expectation. And they're doing the same thing in a reciprocal manner back to you. So when I introduce myself and do that, and then I ask them about their day, I ask them what they have going on, it's inevitable that someone's going to say something that's going to resonate with what I'm doing, and then I'm going to offer a solution.
So do you not tell them about your business straight away? Do you just talk to them first of all, and then you let them open up and then ask you what you're doing?
For the average individual, yes. Now, for the networkers that know that I also am a networker, no. I'll go to them and say, hey, we need to talk. I got something I need to share with you. But for the normal, the average person, no. I ask questions, make sure that I let them, I listen more than I talk, honestly. It's just asking the questions to see who they are, what resonates in their life, and then I share what I can do to help with what they're saying they're having issues with.
The reason why I'm asking you these questions is because obviously, people will write their list, but then they'll think, I've run out of my list. What do I do now? How do I move forward? So, that's when you're then starting to speak to people that aren't in your network. So
Yes.
Would you start building relationships with people that aren't on that list beforehand so you know that you don't run out?
Well, I mean, you can start. I mean, if there are people that you know by name and all that, you already have a relationship with them. If it's new people that you don't have a relationship with, you absolutely want to build that relationship first. Social media is a great way to drip on people without initially building that relationship, so that when you do reach out to them, they already have an understanding of what you're doing. But the people that know you already, I mean, one of the things on the thing that you're doing is, what if I could show you how to save, X number of pounds per year on your energy? Would you be open? That's the initial approach in my mind. And you got some people that'll come back to you on that. So yeah, how do I do that? Do you have time to watch this? Do you have time to jump on a phone call? Yeah, no kidding, David. We know way too much about way too many people on social media nowadays, don't we?
Your spelling's atrocious. I had to read that twice.
It's only one letter. I hope you don't mind me unmuting myself. Just what Scott was saying there about open up to people, how to start conversations. Again, there's a guy called Tom Big Al Schreider, does a thing called Icebreakers, and he basically says that, and what we're saying on social media, if you listen, you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. If you listen enough, people will tell you what they need, and if you've got a solution for them, that's the opening you need. So, like Scott says, he listens a lot.
That's exactly right. My dad always told me when I was a kid, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you should listen twice as much as you talk. And I said, I know. He said, so in other words, shut up. I said, okay, fine. So you learn that over time. And in this industry, I mean, absolutely, if you learn the art of listening to people, you're absolutely right, David. They will tell you everything you need to know, and they'll tell you everything you don't want to know.
I have that book in my hand, David. Seriously, I'll take a picture of it when we get off this and I'll put it straight up. I have got the Icebreakers book in my hand right now. Because I love this book. Has anyone else got any questions that they want to ask at all whilst we're on here? Just unmute yourself if you don't want to type. Andrea, go on. Andrea, say something. Unmute yourself, darling.
Oh God, they're all shy.
Andrea, I've unmuted you, so you're going to have to talk now.
Okay, well, I'm very new to all of this, as you know, but I've been in business-to-business telesales for 11 years now, selling business phone systems. So I use this alternative close. But going back to how you can motivate yourself, I live with anxiety, and I have to constantly motivate myself and push myself. And the Think and Grow Rich, I purchased the audio from Amazon for about £8, and I put that on every day for about half an hour. And I have a little journal and just little things that comes to me, what I'm trying to achieve and what I'm trying to achieve for my family. That'll just bring me back to why I'm doing it, and that helps me. And also, I've bought myself, it was quite a lot of money, I bought myself a High Achievers Playbook just for this. It cost me £70, but I highly recommend it because it gives you daily tasks to do, what you want to achieve. It makes you write down your goals. So yeah, that's just a little bit that I wanted to share with everyone.
Thank you, Andrea. It's nice that you do that. That's what I like about this team, is the fact that we work as a team. It's not just one person dictating we need to do that. We've all got ideas and we all bring it to the table. We all enhance each other. So, that's absolutely fantastic.
And I know this can be done, and people that might roll their eyes and think, oh, here we go, what is she up to now? What is she doing now? But the long and short of it is that I can save £350 a year on my energy. That's quite a lot of money, isn't it?
It is. And if that's how you approach this, say, what if I could show you a way to save £350 a year on your energy? Would you be open?
Yeah.
And, or you can just say, hey, I just found out how we can save $350 or £350 or more per year on our energy. You got to check this out. Whenever I just found out, and you put yourself into it, how we can save this, then you create more interest from a lot of other people's.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
Sorry, I just want to ask, what's the name of that book the lady said she was using?
It's called the High Achievers Playbook.
Thank you.
And you can partner up. They do a deal. If there's 2 or 3 of you that are interested in getting one, you can buy 2 and get 1 free. So you could split the cost between 3 of you, and it'd probably work out at about 40 quid. And honest to God, it's so heavy. And go on and have a look on the website. It every day you've got a make it happen page. And for example, with your 5 a day over 7 days a week for the month, and you can track and process it. And then it makes you do a business list, a personal list. Even encourages you to drink your 8 glasses of water a day. There's a whole calendar in there. There's one you can pull out on the wall. There's motivational quotes in here. It's fantastic. It's like being back at school. It's something that you've got to do every day.
Sounds good. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Can you
Anything
put that in the group? I was going to ask. Sorry, could you put that in the group, Andrea, so that we could see that? Kerry, I'd be interested
Yeah,
in getting
will do.
them split.
Yeah.
Probably if somebody else wanted as well, but that's fantastic. Sounds great.
Yep, I will do. No problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Pam.
Yeah, I love that idea. I mean, anything that helps keep you organized and focused on what you're doing is going to help. You know, because you have to look at this at the end of the day. Granted, this is not a job; it's not a job, but it is a business. And if you're going to run it like a business, then you have to do those things that are going to help you stay focused and accountable. Whether it's talking to somebody, a mentor or a leader every day, you have action steps you have to take every day, whatever it is for you. But if you have have something to follow, that's so helpful with what you're doing. You know, and it also helps you not get distracted and derailed either.
Oh, David, I do love you. You, you just take over, and it's great. It's great that you do these little snippets. Have a look at this. Have a look at that. Has anyone else got any questions that they want to ask?
Yeah, I would like to ask Scott a question.
Yes.
So, Scott, you mentioned that previously when you started out, you've been involved in like a nutritional-based network marketing company, and there are so many out there. But we've also got a good range of people in here who've never really put the toe in the network marketing industry before. Can you just explain how you think that the product we have here differs from other companies out there? And what I mean is, when you're building your list, you said don't ever exclude anybody. And I found before, and I've built many a list, that I did exclude people. So when I was involved in a nutritional-based thing, I didn't put my tattooist on there because I didn't think Steve would ever be interested. And I was right, he never would be, because we did speak about it. But why do you think it's really important with the model we've got here and the business we've got here that you don't exclude anybody from your list?
Well, because the model you have here, everybody has energy and pays their bills in some way, shape, or form. So you're going to expose this to somebody. And even if you do run across somebody that doesn't and has it paid for them, they might have family members that could benefit from this savings here as well. But as far as the don't exclude anybody off your list, the only reason why I say that is because I was proven wrong so many times in my first company and every company since that I never know who's going to do it and who's not. I mean, other than the networkers that come with me whenever I do something, you never know who will and who won't. You know, the tattooist may or may not. In my nutrition company, I had 2 tattoo artists on my team. They didn't need to lose weight, but they knew a lot of people. They knew they could make money. You know, it's all about letting the system do the sorting for you and not us making that judgment on who's going to do and who's not going to do.
And just follow up on that, how much physical pain do you actually go through when people say no?
Physical pain?
Yeah, how much does it really hurt? How much do you bleed when people say no?
Listen, when someone says no to me, it depends on the person. If it's a close person to me, it bothers me. And I look at them and say, are you really not listening to me? Or you're just saying no because that's your knee-jerk reaction. But, no's bother you. But then for the most part, the way I look at things now is I know I'm going to hit, 60 or 70 no's for every single 100 contacts I make. So, I don't care. Give them to me. Bring it on.
Are you telling us that you go for no?
I go for no. Everybody should go for no.
You see where I was leading there?
Yes, because I go for no. I'm murder for it. I look at it, and everybody that says no to me, I just, I smile to myself and think, well, do you know what? The next one's going to say yes. And I do my day job as well because I have to cold call, which is one of the hardest things to do. I cold call with my day job, so you can imagine how many people that I contact today and they say no to me. But
everyone, you had people, that whole go for no thing came out and all that. I mean, I was sitting in a room listening to Darren Hardy speak in my first company back in November of 2010. And that's when that was sprung on me, the go for no end of things. And, then there's some people now saying this go for no is negative. I go for yeses. I'm like, that's great if you want to live in happy clappy land. But, you got to go for the no because the no is what, if you have the right mindset about the no, then it's not going to bother you as much when it happens. That's the whole point of it, right? So when someone says no, you're like, okay, I understand that. But listen, do you mind if I follow up with you next month and fill you in on what my progress is? And If they say, yeah, go ahead, fine, then come back to them next month. Because the other thing I learned early on is that no is just no for now. It's not no forever. And you keep coming back to those folks because sooner or later, everybody's going to want to do what you're doing because you can't ignore success, at least not for very long.
What I never do is I never take anybody off my list. They're always there, just like you said. It no is a no for not now, but not no forever. And it can come back at any other time. Sorry, my sister just stuck her head in the door. She thought it was finished. Yeah.
Now, I must admit, I've got a bit like that. Before, I used to be really disheartened, and I used to take it personally as well. I used to think, well, why don't they want this stuff from me? How could they possibly not what I want? Not get what I want because I just literally ooze it. You've got to take what I want. But now when someone says no to me, I just move on, and I move on really quickly, and then I'll go back to like what Scott said. I don't believe it is. Sorry if you can hear the kids. I've got 4 kids in the house, and they're not all mine. It's the holidays, and I just adopt children over the holiday period. Yeah, I have. It's like, obviously we've got the tracker, and I've put the tracker together for you so that you can make it really easy for yourself. But like I was speaking to Scott earlier, I have 3 books in front of me, so I don't have 1 notebook. I have 3. But mine are all going to be put onto the tracker because I can't say to you guys use the tracker if I'm not using it. It doesn't work. I have to work the same format as you guys. But I literally will be going back to them on the next date so that I can show them our progress, and everyone can see our progress anyways because we're shouting it on Facebook. They're coming to us. You'll find that when you work this system, you're no longer the hunter, you become the hunted because people can see what you're really doing. And and I'm finding that on a daily basis that people are just coming to us. Yeah, of course you can message me, Sam. Yeah, you can talk. You can have a phone call with me after this if you want, rather than do it on Messenger. Have a phone call with me. I prefer phone calls because my fingers hurt otherwise. So yeah. Has anyone else got any other questions at all?
Well, the last thing I want to add to that too, Sam, was what you brought up with all the stuff as well. We're talking about the no's and all that. Is for people who have been doing this for quite a while, you've been doing this for a few years, remember back, you got to always put yourself back in the prospect's shoes. Like you've never been exposed to this before. You're being exposed for the very first time. What's going to resonate with you and what's not? And think about how the first time you were presented with an opportunity, how you responded to that. Because most of us did the same knee-jerk reaction, like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not interested. What is this? One of those pyramid schemes? We all have had those type of reactions. So you have to understand that a brand new person that you're going to for the first time is probably going to have a similar reaction. So that's where you share your story with them about, I understand why you said no because I did the same thing when I was first presented with an opportunity. But here's a reality of what's happened for me. And I know if it can happen for me, it can happen for you.
No, I agree with that. I do agree with that. Anyone else? James, you're normally quite vocal. Have you not got something to say?
Hello. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Danny, just starting today. I've never done anything like this. Well, not this type of marketing before. So I'm just getting the grips of it all. But how easy is it to get someone, change from one gas company to another company? Because obviously when I've had the cold callers before and people have offered me like save £100 a year. And to be honest, sometimes I'm just, you can't be bothered with it. So how much effort does the customer have to actually put in to change over to another company?
Okay, can I answer that?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, right, you've literally got your link, okay? It is literally a simple case of is that you show them your link. You just explain the fact. Now, what we all do so that we are the product of this is that we actually do it ourselves foremost. So we see how much savings that we can actually attain. So we actually go through the process of exactly what a customer will go through. And it's just literally with you, you'll send the link through to them. You explain the fact that how much savings that you've had. If you don't have savings yourself, then we've got on our group page as an array of different savings that you can see that have come from this group. So you can say, my partner who I work with, they've had these, And then what you can then say is that, you know, I'm sending you this link because I care about you. Follow the process and see how much you can save. And all they do is they just literally fill their details out. The minute they fill their details out, it will come up with exactly how much savings there are for them. It's got a proceed button. They hit the proceed button. The proceed button, they then put in further details, and then they literally hit another button, and then that's it. What then happens is the energy brokerage will take that information through to the supplier. So the supplier will then go to MPAN. MPAN will then go to their current company that they're with. They will then get the details for them to leave. It will then go back through MPAN, and then MPAN will then bring it back through to the company that they're with. It takes about 4 to 6 weeks for the process to happen. But for you personally, all you need to do is share that link.
Brilliant. That's great. Thank you very much.
Okay. Any more, David? Are you piecing out?
No. Just again, just pointing this at everyone, but obviously Scott will just confirm. I was taught by Tom Schreider that he asked me specifically, "What's your job as a network marketer?" And I'd kind of mumbled around, you know, sharing a product and blah. He went, "No, your only job as a network marketer is to get people to make a decision, either yes or no. That's it.
That's it.
And all you got to do is give them the information. We've got a great product here that makes it so easy for you. You don't have to know the ins and outs of the energy industry. You can be a complete novice. You know, I'd only ever dealt with my own electricity before I joined this company. I don't need to know thread to needle how the industry works. I just need to know how to copy and paste a link, invite someone to look at it, send it to them, say thank you, even when they say yes or no. That's it.
That's it.
Don't overcomplicate it. Don't take the back off the TV to find out how it works. Just know that it works.
Yeah, the best bit of advice is exactly what you just said, and then to add just a little bit to that is, even when you do know all the information and can answer all the questions, don't, because 97% of the population is not a type A that has to know everything. Only the top 3% is, and for them, they want to know the information. For the rest, they just want to know, can I save money? Will it work for me? And if you say yes to that, then great. Here's your link. Sign up. I'll show you. This is what I've saved. That funnel, I mean, if you marry the process, which is what you just said, David, you just got to invite them to take a look at the link and take a look at the savings, and then just click sign up and be done with it. That's it. They're going to come out the bottom of that funnel as either a customer, an affiliate, or not interested. As long as you don't care how they come out the end of the funnel, then you'll have a successful business. But marry the process, not the outcome.
There's hope for me yet. I might get married then, is what you're saying. Only been single 5 years.
You never know, Sam. You never know.
I feel sorry for whoever ends up with me. I really do. James, are you sure you don't have anything you want to ask?
I finally managed to turn my mic on. All it is, how do you deal with when people say, you know, oh, it's a pyramid or it's a Ponzi or it's a scam? How do you deal with it, Scott?
There's two ways that I look at that, and it depends on the person that I'm talking with. The first way I look at that is to be the person that informs. I say, yeah, well, I understand what you're saying. Where do you work, though? Tell me. And, you know, most of them will tell me some job. I said, all right, I'm going to use the Walmart example. You know, you have Walmart, you have the CEO of the company, you have the president, you have the store managers, you have assistant managers. They all fall down in a pyramid, all the way down to the bottom to the customer service reps that cash you out. That customer service rep line down at the very bottom of that pyramid will never in a million years out-earn the CEO at the top of that pyramid, ever. Whereas in this pyramid that you're part of this, you're the brand new person in. I'm going to reach my hand down, grab you by the hand, say, let's go do this together. I want you to out-earn me. And you're going to help them be successful. Everything in life is a pyramid. It's nothing more than a corporate structure.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that explanation. Because somebody turned around and said to me the other day, well, yeah, it's a pyramid, isn't it? Sam, you told me just to brush it off and move on.
Yeah. It is, you know, because that's, if you, you know, for those of you who do listen to Jim Rohn, he does a great training or a great talk about sowing and reaping, right? You know,
yeah.
And it's all about the birds. You really want to chase the birds and lose the seeds that you're sowing and lose out on opportunity? Or do you want to, you know, slough them off and just keep moving on and just go to the next one? You know, eventually the birds, I mean, they're going to get some anyway. It's up to us not to care. You know, because if we get focused on the people that are lost, then we lose too.
Yeah, I must admit, I have become a little bit hardened to that. And I do mean hardened to that. I am at the point, like what you said, Andrew, I was like, yeah, just move on. Don't care about it. Move on.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, that stopped me beating myself up, as one would say. Because when I started, I was beating myself up. I thought there was something wrong with me. I was doing it wrong. And I didn't understand the process, but now I understand the process. And, you know, and as we can see, it's working better for me because I understand the process. Hence why we're all here today, because I understand the process better than what I did before. But I learn every day. And every person that I speak to as well, you know, whether it be within the team or, you know, someone that I'm trying to introduce to this, whether it be a customer or, you know, someone that I want to bring on to the business, I learn from them as well, because it increases my skill set of how to deal with people. So, you know, and that's why
I 100% trust you, Sam, and that's why I'm doing this. And I'm very much like you. You know, my day job. I've took a huge risk now. I've walked away after 11 years. I'm doing it for 3 days a week, and I have to cold call up to 300 business owners a day. And this girl is the one that does the same job as me that said, oh, you're in a pyramid. And I said to her, well, what's the difference in me going to work every day, making up to 300 cold calls to get 3 appointments, to doing this?
There is no difference. None whatsoever.
Exactly.
And you're making 300 cold calls a day to make 3 appointments. If you did half that here, you're not going to be able to stop the flow of money coming in.
Well, I've just freed up 2 days a week. I after 11 years of doing it, I wanted to walk away completely, but I have to have a bit of a blanket for my mortgage, etc. Just for now, because I know that it's going to take a few weeks to get this going. But I've automatically reduced it down. I now have Fridays and Mondays off, so I've got 4 days clear to put into this, and then I'll do what I can when I'm in work. Like, you know, that's why I've got this book to help me keep me going when I've got to phone up 300 people and get sworn at and get told no God knows how many times, etc., etc. This is my new focus, and hopefully I can walk away from the 3 days in a couple of months' time. That's my aim.
Yeah, that's a great goal. Write it down so you can see it.
Yeah.
Can I just... Oh, sorry.
No, you go first, David. I can go afterwards, not a problem.
Sorry, can I just address the pyramid thing in a way that I think is unique to Economize?
Yeah.
So before, in other network marketing companies, they almost always have a product. And that product's value is relative. So yes, it has a cash value, but the value of the product is relative to the customer and to the rep. In this, and especially with those people in the UK, we have got a direct comparison that everybody can understand. If you show them, or if someone says to you it's a pyramid, just ask them, is Compare the Market a pyramid? Is Money, you know, what's the other comparison website?
Money Supermarket.
Money Supermarket. Any of those comparison websites that people are familiar with, they see on the TV day in, day out, we are offering the exact same service. We're not selling them anything. We are offering them a service. So
Might not get a free meerkat though.
We've not got, sorry?
Might not get a free meerkat though.
You might not do, but who pays for, and this is where I'm going, exactly where I'm going. I said to my wife today, who pays for the meerkat? Who pays for the 2-for-1 cinema tickets? Who pays for their website? Who pays for their advertising? Yeah. Where's that money going? That money's going on the customer's bill. Yep. That's the difference. That is the only difference between us and them. And we've got that in this business where we don't have it in any of the product-based network marketing companies that get thrown the pyramid thing at them. We don't have that here. You've got a direct comparison that people can understand. And if you point that out, who pays for the meerkat should be our strap line if anyone says this is a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, I'm going to use that.
But, you know, I use something very similar. I turn around and say, who pays for the desk chairs, the electric, the business rates, the pensions? I don't say the meerkat, but I do the same as you. I show them what the cost is, because to me, you know, that shows that, hang on a minute, you're not getting part of that. You're losing out on all of that cost, where that could be in your back pocket. And that makes me want to look at it more, because one thing that Rob taught me recently is people fear loss. And if they think that they're losing out on something, they want to make sure they're getting it, so they look harder.
Yeah.
If 1 million people use the Meerkat website every year to get a quote, and it costs them £5 to manufacture, package, and post a Meerkat out to person, that's £5 million that you've got to find before anything else.
It's ridiculous.
That's an analogy that people will understand if they ever throw the pyramid at you. So that's.
I like it.
Always got something good, ain't you, Dave? Always. Right, anyone else? Well, or are we done? Pam,
No, it's quite-
Yeah.
you got anything to say?
No, it was just a slip of the finger. I'm just enjoying this now. I'm actually at my sister's house, so I'm getting ready to go up the road very shortly.
Yeah, anyone at all? Keely, have you got anything you want to say, darling?
No, I'm fine, thanks.
Okay, all right, sure. Well then, Scott, thank you for giving us your time. Appreciate it. Thank you
My
very
pleasure.
much.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Right, thanks. Bye, guys. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye bye.